overlay melancholy with a nostalgia that embraces a shameful past, an abhorrent institution, and provides an unending division. Listen, no one's going to one day be cool with slavery. We cannot allow revisionists to repaint our children's minds with the lie that the war between the states was fought over states' rights. States' rights to do what? Now, what am I speaking of? Well, I'm speaking of a Ku Klux Klan rally in 2017. Thousands of people descended upon Charlottesville to protest the rally of the Ku Klux Klan in formerly Jackson Park, now known as Justice Park, around the statue of General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. Now, the roughly 50 Klan's members who attended said they were protesting the city's decision to remove the Lee statue and rename parks formerly named after Confederate generals. Are we still doing that? You see, an April filing seeking to have the lawsuit dropped, including a challenge to count one of the pro-statue monument fund suit, which claims that removing the statue would violate a state law that protects memorials to war veterans. The Monument Fund, made up primarily of local residents and the Virginia Division of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, alleged that the council's vote violated the state code because the Lee and Jackson monuments were memorials to the war between the states, and that the state code makes it unlawful for the authorities of the locality to disturb or interfere with any monuments or memorials so erected. Now, in their filing, counsel for the city wrote that the state code evoked by the plaintiffs became applicable to cities and towns in 1997 and has no application to the Lee statue erected in 1924. Now, the argument that the state code applies retroactively to a monument erected 73 years prior to the 1997 legislation is contrary to settled rules of statutory construction that strongly disfavor the retroactive application of new legislation, according to the filing. Now, you've got to ask yourself, what are we still talking about this for? Why is this still an issue? You know, I mean, every time I think about the Klan coming together, exercising their First Amendment rights, which they have the right to do, now we must question whether they have the right to hate speech. I mean, does it really make sense to you that in this country, 2017, that we're still protecting the rights of people who want other people exterminated or separated from a country that purports to be united? I don't get it, and neither should you. It makes no sense, and we can't continue to allow history revisionists to repaint our children's minds with the lie that the war between the states was fought over states' rights. You and I know better than that. You see, the war they known as the Civil War, but this war between the states, was fought over capitalism. Yes, it was fought over the right, one would fight for his right, the right to profit as much as possible off of the lives and labor of other people, in this case, black people. Now, if you're an American and you believe that this country is one of justice, equality, and freedom, then there's no way on earth you could side with the Ku Klux Klan, who cite their First Amendment right to free speech, or they cite their right to hate other Americans. You got to understand this, that capitalism was the cause of the war between the states, and it will make a whore out of patriotism. One will sell out his or her own values for the sake of fiscal enrichment. Our current political climate emboldens a pride in the disgraceful, led by the Christian de facto leader of the alt-right, your so-called President Trump. I'm Perry Red, from the other side of the tracks.